love to hear about these like other people.
Yeah.
These I would interview like brewery owners.
Oh yeah, which ones did you go to?
They're all
Sorry,
from
I
around.
don't understand.
What the heck?
We're
Yeah, I should probably put this away.
We're
They're.
very into beer here.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta clean this up. I have a dual tap kegerator here, so.
Oh nice. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, there was I did a bunch of those. I did like 3 different brewery owners, and like hearing all their stories and like how they like, it was awesome. It was so cool. Joe, this is a great setup. I love this.
Dude, it's Mings.
Yeah, well I know.
Mings the man, dude. Dude, I watched Clerks 3 finally.
Oh yeah, good. It's freaking depressing, but.
Yeah, but I saw you're like the first thing I saw in the beginning of the movie.
That was fun.
I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, I showed up. I was like, what are we doing? It's hot as balls that day, and he's like, we're gonna go play hockey on the rooftop. I'm like, no shit, dude. I'm a big fan of them. You ever see Clerks?
No.
There's a scene. It takes place in a convenience store not far from here, and there's a scene where the guys cut out and they go play hockey on the rooftop.
Uh-huh.
When I'm a big fan, so I was like, holy crap! Like, I was a fan of the movie. Now I get to be on the rooftop. Like, dude.
That's like being on the Millennium Falcon, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
Dude, it's
Pretty
like the
much.
same
That's a
thing,
good-
dude.
that's
It's so
actually a
cool.
Pretty good analogy.
It's so cool, man. No, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I knew that was a big deal for you. I saw that scene and I was like, oh, that's really neat. Cool. So Dylan,
Ready?
this part's where we're gonna do some selfies.
All right,
Do you want
perfect.
This is a good picture too. Ming's gonna take some too. This is always a good one too. Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
here.
the screen,
Yeah.
the meta picture.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Awesome.
Here, it's over there. I'll get
So
some
also
later.
he can you ever listen to a podcast and we're talking about something like funny or whatever, like
Uh-huh.
he can like pull it up on the screen in front of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
Like
pull
when
it
we're-
up, pull up, Jamie.
When we exactly. So we were talking to it was Kunal and Kunal. Did you ever see that one? Kunal was like in a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like
What?
we were
Yeah,
talking,
it's like a Bollywood movie.
No way.
and he pulled it up, and it just
Probably don't. I can't even remember what it was called. I don't
yeah,
know.
it just was like no. Kunal knew what it was, and it was like a legit movie. He was like in it playing a drum, and we pulled it up, and
And he found it?
it just makes the conversation like that much
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
fun. We were like, oh shit, it was pretty cool. So if something like that comes up, we can do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, did Ashley send you the questions?
Yes, she
Cool.
did.
Well, I reserve the right to not ask you any of those, by the way. But I probably will reference it. So.
No, yeah, no worries. I'm more of a fan of like the conversation
Cool.
instead of the questions anyway, so it's good.
And we're just gonna do like an open conversation, man. Is that
Perfect.
cool?
Yeah. Do you want to? We going
I'm
headphones?
gonna
or-
probably say some.
Do you remember what date that was?
I don't, man.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, man.
Okay, no, it's just it
but
was.
you know what was cool was we
It was
we
something
edited
weird.
for social media. We edited it up and we like cut in that scene to the social media part. It just made a really great social media piece.
Yeah,
So
that's cool though. I didn't know that.
All right.
Kunal was a movie star.
well, that's the fun part. So I try to do a little bit of real estate and then just a little bit like learning more about you. And
Yeah.
Also, it's like an opportunity for you and I to like get to know each other. Like kind of
Yeah.
like when you're like, let's go to lunch. I was like, well, it's kind of what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Which by the way, thank you for asking me to go to lunch. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta talk to other realtors
Ah.
like around that time. But yeah, man, that way I get an opportunity to like. So like rarely do. Are you recording now?
Recording.
Perfect.
All right.
So like I'm just gonna get it. So like yeah, dude, these podcast things with the real estate team are super cool because, dude, rarely in this life does anybody slow down and sit down and talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like even like my own family, right? So like I try to talk to my son. He's like, whatever, dad. Like what'd you do at school? But this will give us an opportunity. We'll talk a little bit about your business, and then we'll just talk a little bit. We'll just get to know each other a little bit
Yeah.
better. Does that sound
Sweet.
good?
Sweet. Yeah, and I appreciate you asking me to come on here. This is great. I mean, this is an amazing setup. And I've been seeing all the other podcasts you've been doing with the other agents, and it's so cool.
You know,
to
you
see.
finally sold a house, so I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's learn
First
a little bit
one,
about this
right?
guy, you
Yeah.
know? So all right, cool. I'm gonna jump in. So I've been hearing the word on the street is Oz Group is like not your grandmom's real estate team. Have you been hearing this?
I'm my grandma's real estate.
Not your grandma's real estate team.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Not my grandma's real estate team. I'm assuming that I'm like.
I'm
what, I don't
hearing
even
this.
know.
You know, you're a core member of the group, right?
Yes,
Like you're in
yes.
it, right?
Yep.
So like obviously you're a. Let's be real, dude. You probably are. Also, word on the street is obviously you're probably the coolest dude on the real estate team, right? Like I see your videos online with
Yeah.
the sunglasses, the Hawaiian shirt.
The
And by the way,
Hawaiian
that's
shirt.
working. Like I scroll through everyone's shit, like. You know what I mean? Like the static images, like just listed, just sold. Like that's the most boring stuff on social media, right? Like, but like, I stop when you're on a couch and you're like all Tom Cruise, when you're like all Tom Cruised out in your glasses, it looks like that movie Back to School. I'm like, oh, let me see what this dude has to say right now. And so yeah, you're the young hip dude, right? Like you, like a lot of you guys actually, like all you guys, like Ethan and you and Eddie and Nick, and like you guys are like younger guys. And I think like not your grandma's real estate team, right? Like there must be something, because you would just go join like Coldwell Banker and work there if it was different, right? So like, what attracted you to like joining a team? I know you had a deep relationship with Chris Styles. Mm-hmm. So like, what attracted you? And then not only that, like you've been here for how long?
It's about a year now.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
you stayed.
A little over a year. Yeah.
Stayed for a year. If it sucked, you wouldn't have stayed,
That's
right?
true.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm bouncing, right?
Yes.
So I want to know, and yeah, what is it? What makes you join a team? What makes you stay? And what makes it like, and not your grandma's real estate team, as I think it's just like, dude, if we had fax machines and we weren't, we didn't know how to use technology and we were like screaming at you about do more open houses, like, it's just not the way that I think real estate's changing really fast. And talk to us about where you're at, why you joined the team, why you're still here, what's working for you, and just whatever you want to tell us.
Yeah. So obviously I've had that deep connection with Chris Styles for a while, been like almost a year and a half now with him. So he kind of brought me and introduced me to you. But the thing that's kept me on the team for this year and more is seeing you and seeing how like great this style of like content is, and just also you're like you're not like a grandma either, so you're very like in tune with how the new technology is and how to not be like that very like down to the book style of realtor, and teaching that and spreading that. So I've always appreciated that. Like when I was first going into the business, I sat down with Remax, I sat down with Coldwell Banker, both those brokers, and they were just like telling me like, oh yeah, you have to do the X, Y, and Z. They gave me like a 30-page printout. They were like, this is how you become a good realtor. I'm like, I feel like I'm in school right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's not
Oh, wow.
not what I want. That's not what I like. That's not what I want. So seeing and like actually onboarding with you and Chris and Gil and being there and seeing how like the fast-paced movement is, and seeing how we're connecting ourselves with partners with like Zillow, and seeing the future of real estate, that's where I really love. And like I really connected with Gil's presentation that first time where it was like real estate 3.0, and I saw the future in that, and I was like, yeah, there's grandmas are back. In fact, they're behind us. We're gonna be over here.
That's awesome. Tell me about Gil's awesome. Gil's like super smart guy. He's like however you feel about Elon Musk. He's like the Elon Musk of Oz Group. Like nobody sees him, and like he's like the guy behind the guy. But what does the future of real estate look like to you, man? Like, that's it. What does the future of real estate look like to you, and what's happening, and what changes have you seen, and how are you dealing with them?
Yeah, so obviously a big change was the NAR settlement. Sure. That I believe we took on very head on.
Crushed that.
We crushed that.
Next.
I mean, you like set us up for so much success during that, because we prepped for it for like a month or a month and a half, 2 months even prior. And when it hit, so I feel like so many agents were running around with their heads cut off. They didn't know how to have that conversation. I had an agent call me like, for one of my listings like 3 months later, and like asking me so many questions. I was like, you're not ahead of this already? Like this is so easy. Like you didn't have them sign a buyer broker agreement when you first met them. So that like being able to get on top of that and having those conversations immediately was a massive help. And I think for me in the past few months, I've been like really like hitting my rhythm. And I've been getting in front of so many people, submitting offers, getting offers accepted, closing things, getting listings signed, everything that's really good. And I've been super consistent with that. And I want to just continue with that. I want to keep the morning routine going, keep the rhythm going, keep showing homes to people. And if I just keep in this rhythm, I remember when I first joined the team, your saying for 2024 was keep the blinders on. And I kind of kept that in my mind. And I was saying, keep the blinders on right now, keep showing homes, keep submitting offers, and keep helping people get houses and sell their houses. And that's just my goal right now is just keep being the best realtor I can be.
That's awesome, man. You had a I just saw your business, like not just, but like maybe like halfway through the year, you it's gradual and then it's sudden, right? Like you started to like your name kept showing up on the leaderboard and all these things and getting deals put under contract and things like that. What's the secret? What would you do? I don't understand. Will you tell me, because I need to get some deals under contract myself.
Yeah, so there was like that short span where I got like 7 in escrow at like once. And it was,
7 deals at once?
Yeah.
In this market?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
It was
Psych, I do believe it. I saw it.
Yeah, no, it was insane. So what I really focused on was looking at my real estate business as a whole and like looking at it as an actual business. I feel like you talk about this a lot where a lot of realtors just like kind of close deals as mirage and they don't really look at their business as a business. They look at them as going to show houses and submitting offers and closing a deal once in a while. I looked at it differently. I said, as a grand scheme, how do I make money in real estate? I make money by people closing on homes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, well, let's work backwards from there. Close on home. How do I close on a home? I have to be under contract. I have to be under contract, submit offers, all the way down. So I found my people. I made a list. I made a Google Sheets. I was like, all right, what do I have to do? I got to get them in showing homes. Same thing we do on Follow Up Boss. Get them in showing homes. Get them submitting offers. What do these people want? What is their time frame looking like? Once I figure out what their motivation is, then I'm like, all right, these are my people for the next 3 months. There's 7 of them. Let's get them all a house. And then I work that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude, you were like listening.
It's crazy what that can do, right?
Dude, yeah, when you start running it, like what happens is I think, dude, people just wait for life. This is just life in general, man. People wait for life to happen to them.
Yeah.
That's insane, right? Like you can make anything happen. And then it doesn't happen right away. You don't get it right away. And then it's gradual and then it's sudden, right? It's all these cliches, but they're true. That's awesome, man. That's a real, you know what? I'm checking with the judges right now. That answer was correct.
10 out of 10. Let's go. Well, I mean, it really just seems like it's exactly what you've done too in the past. And I think it's so important because I've only been in the business for about 1.5 years too. So I joined from being a solo agent for 6 months at EXP. And, I closed like 2 deals. And
sure,
it was like
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but like one was my dad, and my dad's like an investor or whatever.
You own those deals, dude. Those deals are awesome.
Yes,
dude,
yes. It's great.
Own those deals. I used to own a record label, and I put out a record, and we sold like 100 copies.
Wait, I didn't know that, really?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah,
so I put out this record, I sold like 100 copies, and like I was proud of those 100 copies. Like I was just proud that I sold 100 people gave a shit enough to buy this. This is back when there was like CDs, right?
Yeah,
like people bought them. I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
I don't even know if I was alive back then.
Be proud. Probably not. Be proud of those deals, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, I know. And that like the investor side of the business is just like it's very cutthroat because like it's really about just the money and the numbers and there's no emotion involved in it. But it's definitely where you can see like the predictable income compared to like how other real estate transactions go.
Because those investors have a certain amount of, they have a budget. It's a business, right? It's like I have $2 million, my price point is this, and I need to get 3 of these by this date, right? And then it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That's if you're working with a good, and there's a lot of novice.
Yes.
Like there's people like, there's dudes right now living in their mom's basement that don't own any real estate that will call your phone, realtors if you're listening, they'll call your phone and say they're an investor.
Yeah.
They're not. Don't go work with those people.
Yeah.
But if you have a real investor, that's a really great part of your portfolio, right?
Yes.
Your business.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to it, first 6 months on my own, solo agent, closed those 2 deals, whatever. Then I got introduced to Chris and Oz Group, and I was like, all right, this seems legit. This seems really good. So I went the onboarding, and over the past year, I've closed 10 more.
Wow.
Which is like, it's great.
Yeah.
And
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I wouldn't have got there without you and Chris and the team model. And I think like the biggest thing that I have to like note about that is just putting in the reps and just being able to be in front of people. And what I've like really started to notice about consumers is it's not really like you gotta like the age old saying of people gotta know you, like you, trust you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from Zillow, it's a little tough because you're answering the phone call. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't
Yeah,
like, they
100%.
don't trust you. You really have to like hone your skills when you go out and meet the person in front of the door. And I used to think that I was like really good at that. But then I learned very quickly that I wasn't. And then it just took the 1,000 reps of just meeting someone in front of a house and having to create this relationship with them. And during that time of like, there was a time where I like met 30 new people in a month, and it was just, I was answering Zillow call, and it was just crazy. And I think for any new agent, that is 100% necessary if you really want to explode. And people, like I've talked to other agents too about this, and it's like, I know Chris and you preach about this. When I talk to young agents trying to tell them about the group and trying to get them on, they're like, "Oh my God, like the split is terrible."
Mm-hmm.
And okay, yes, but you're 19 years old. You're living with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have expenses. You want to close as many deals as you can to get that credibility underneath you so that when you're 22 years old, you can sell 12 houses in a year. You can list 12 houses.
Yeah,
you can
like,
sell 20 houses. Like there's no reasonable answer to
It's like
that
talking about your performance in the bedroom, but you haven't even talked to a girl yet, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you got to talk to a girl
Exactly.
first, right?
Yeah,
the
there's
splits,
levels.
dude. Yeah, totally, dude. Like I'm spending the money that I won at the lottery already in my head, right? Like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing, man. You're gonna see. I think you're going to see everything's turning into the teamerage, man. Everyone's gonna. And by the way, Dylan, if you're doing 20 million and you say, "Hey, Joe, I need a better split," what do you think I'm gonna say to you?
Yeah, you're gonna say
I'm
yes.
gonna be like, shit, you're right. And then the other thing, you want to talk about running it like a business?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, at EXP, we're talking to brokerages, teams, like everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, and what a lot of this comes down to in running a business, what agents don't think about is when you run a big business. Like if you do 20 million or 10 million, do you think that's a big business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
There's expenses that come along with that.
Yeah.
Our follow-up bill is due tomorrow. It's $10,000, dude, right? Like, boom, it's gonna be paid. Boom, done.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to think about that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens is when your business grows, you need more support, right? Yeah. And so what we do is we just take care of that so you can keep doing the thing that you like to do, right? And so and that's what a lot of them don't see is they think the split, and then as you guys, that's gonna be. But that's funny, man. Like the split, but like I never thought about the split. I just thought about the fundamentals, man. Like exactly what you're saying. When you said reps, that's you totally get it. It's like grabbing, dude, take 30 phone calls and blow everyone. Like screw everyone up, man. And that's what we talk about on our team. Just screw it up, dude. If you're willing to get in there and take the punches, you're gonna win some fights. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's it. But yeah, and it's funny, man. Yeah, like, dude, I don't want to give anybody my money either, right? But it's a business, right? I'll show you my P&L all day long, right? Yeah. I flew economy here. I wasn't on my private jet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to
no helicopters from Cali?
Dude, nothing, dude. No, nothing.
Jeez, yeah. And I mean, I want to actually talk to you more about this. Like, the team style has like, you were a very successful solo agent.
Correct.
And now you're living in California running a New Jersey team. Correct. Like, how has that shift been for you in terms of what you're doing on a daily basis? Because compared to talking to the consumer, you're now talking to agents. What's like your daily routine, and how has that kind of changed?
That's a really great question. So it starts with the goal, right? So my goal was to so when I was 19, I started a record label, right? Just like punk and when I was a kid, I would go off to New York and I would go to like punk and hardcore shows, right? Take the train, and then I like got involved in that community, man. Like I was a part of a scene. Like we were underground then, man. Like I'll show you pictures, dude. Like,
yeah,
like
maybe we could pull them up.
And then I wound up going on tour with like punk bands, and then like I went on tour with bigger punk bands, and then I went on like there used to be these big festivals called like there's one called Warped Tour, and I went on. It was like 40 dates in North America, right?
Went on tour meaning like you were like the lead singer?
No, I would work for the bands.
Oh, wow,
I would do everything from like selling merch to like restocking merch to like tour managing, like making sure the band gets paid, and like Dude, I was like
Wow.
21 years old, getting everybody's drunk. I'm getting everybody on a bus because we got to be we're in Chicago. We got to be in Milwaukee by 8 a.m. It's 2 in the morning. I got to get everybody on the bus, and we get to the hotel room, hand everybody their hotel key, going, doing that thing, right? Like babysitting bands, right? And so and it went from being in like a van with like 4 stinky guys going down to Florida to play 5 shows and come back to Jersey or New York, and then it got bigger, right? I was on tour buses and I was working for bigger bands, and then I met my wife, Nicole, on one of these tours, and we just were like friends. And long story short, man, she came and moved to New Jersey to be with me. And then when we started our family, the goal was always to get back to California. And then I'm from Brick, and my buddy opened a real estate office here in we're in Red Bank right now, but opened it in Middletown. And he's like, you should get the music thing fell apart. That's a whole other story. We were selling physical CDs and records, and then like Napster, Apple Music, Spotify, it went digital, whatever. There's a whole thing here where like we were doing merch too. We could have done music or merch. Like you can't download a t-shirt. I used to tell my partner, you can't download a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And we should just do t-shirts. And we just didn't. We did records, and we did. Dude, we opened up the first 3 record stores in Germany, London, in Germany, the United Kingdom, and France on Amazon. We were like the first records. Like we flew over there, opened up bank accounts.
You're kidding
We
me.
were doing really well, yeah.
Oh my God. You were
And,
21? 22?
I was 21, 22, yeah.
Wow.
Not knowing what I'm doing, dude. Like fucking everything up, dude. And this was a cool part. Like when I talk about failure, I'm so passionate about failure because of all the shit that I fucked up leading up to where I am now. So right now things look good. Like, oh, dude, you're like whatever you just said, like, oh, you're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, man, but like I really fucked a lot of shit up. And like from that pain and wanting to be better, I didn't give up and I kept trying new things, right? And so anyway, in the music thing, I met my wife because she was doing bookkeeping for a record label in Los Angeles. She's from California. And then she wanted to get back to California. So then my whole goal became to be geographically free in real estate, which was like unheard of. Yeah, it's like unheard of.
Yeah.
I remember being I was in Portugal, right? And I was like, I was in Lisbon, and I met like a realtor, and I was like, she gave me her business card. I remember seeing it, being like, I want to sell a house in Lisbon. Like I remember thinking like, I want to like sell a house like wherever I like to go, and I just knew there was like a way, like, and I wanted to be remote. And I started doing well in Middletown, New Jersey. And then I remember talking to a lender, and he's like, I was like, man, he's like, how do you like Middletown? And I was like, I don't like it. Because I'm from the beach, I'm from like Point Pleasant. Brick. I was like, I don't know. And it was just it's very different. I grew up in Ocean County. It's just a different, whatever. And I was like, he's like, well, you got those golden handcuffs on now. You're not going anywhere. And that like frightened me. I'm like, oh man. And that actually motivated me to be like, oh man, I got to figure out a way to get like mobile, right? And then that was the goal, man. And so then, I don't know. It's funny, man. I just gave a presentation in Hawaii called "It's Not." The title of it is "It's Not What You Get, It's Who You Become Along the Journey." And so I'm actually going to do this training at Oz Group like next week. I'm going to do it on Zoom, and it's about my story, and it's about like my failures, and it's about the things that didn't work. And essentially, I just started taking step by step to get to California, and there's a lot of mistakes along the way. A lot of bad things happened, yeah, dude, I actually wound up like I'm going to share this next week. I really need to share it. I like pretty much went broke, got sober, like all these things had to happen for me to get to where I am today.
Yeah.
And now my life looks like my daily routine now. It's probably a lot like yours, man. I have a morning routine, which is extremely important to me. It's the most valuable thing, and it's the one thing that has to happen. It's like the only non-negotiable. It's like pretty much. You ever read that book, Miracle Morning?
No.
Okay. If you read The Miracle Morning, there's actually a Miracle Morning for real estate agents, which is funny.
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, it's like the same thing. But like, it's just the things that they say in the book that you should do in the morning are prayer, meditation, journaling, reading, and exercise, right? And so for me,
cold plunge in there.
yeah, you can do that stuff. Yeah, you can get crazy with it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's I get up in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and then I sit down with my dog before everybody gets up, and I pray. I meditate, I do my affirmations, and then I start my day, right? And then if I have the kids or something, I'm very balanced. What's important to me is like being present for my kids. And so I bring the kids to school, I pick them up, I go to soccer practice. Wow. I cook. I've just gotten into cooking like recently, like the last 5 years. Like just legit cook, like because my kids are eating Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out. They're eating garbage whenever they're not in the house. When they're in the house, I want them to eat like real food. So we're doing that. And yeah, man, do a ton. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with Chris Styles and Ashley and Zillow and EXP, and so now what you're doing on a day-to-day basis for your consumers, like you're educating yourself and you're learning about the market. Like you know about like loan programs, and you know about like the NAR settlement, you know about technology, right? You know about how to use Follow Up Boss, you know about Zillow. Your job is to educate yourself about the market so you can best inform the consumer, right? And then help that consumer achieve their goals. I'm doing the same thing on the other end with agents, right? So essentially my job is to understand, like, if you see a video like, yo, these are 5 things I learned at EXPCon, they're coming to EXP, right? Like I'm doing a Q&A with the vice president of EXP Luxury in like 2 weeks, right? It's going to be on Zoom, right? We're going to do it like so everyone from our organization can learn about EXP Luxury. So my job is to educate myself on all the upcoming technology in real estate, all the changes coming to real estate, all the changes coming to EXP, Zillow, the major tech platforms. I network with all the other like large teams in the United States, like what's working, what's not working, what can we do better, right? I listen to what challenges you guys have, and then I fix them. Usually Chris Styles fixes them, but I like help him fix them or whatever. And my goal, my job is to create opportunities for the people in my life, right? So my job is to create opportunities for you. My job is to create opportunities for Chris, for Ashley, for Kunal. Like that's my job. So if you've committed to me at Oz Group or at EXP, dude, that's it. You're like, I commit to you. And then it's like, cool, man. And so my job constantly is finding opportunities for you guys. And then and it's, we call it recruiting, but like I think recruiting's kind of like a dirty word, right? And you know what? Yeah. I worked at Keller Williams and they've recruited every person. And dude, you've been here for a minute, dude. Like people come in, they get kicked out. Like dude, this is the theme, man. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And now we're at the point where we're totally proven. What we said we were going to do, we did it. And if you want to join us, cool. Like, yo, if you want to grow and move mountains, come with me because that's what I'm doing. Yeah. If you want to stay where you're at and just keep doing what you're doing, I'm actually going to repel you. Yeah. Right? And if you're like a complainer, like if you're, dude, that's like that negative energy, right? That victim language stuff, we're going to repel you. So really, I'm not recruiting. I'm just trying to find my tribe. Yeah. Like that's it. So day in and day out, I'm having a lot of conversations to create opportunities for the real estate team. Our group at EXP, right? I have a large group at EXP that's joined us. And to stay ahead of all that stuff and bring it back to you guys. So my job is also to remove friction from the team. Yeah. And you guys teach me. Yeah. Like I learn everything from you guys. It's crazy. Like, Joe's so smart. I'm like, dude, it's not me. It's never me. It's always a team effort. Anything that I've achieved it together with the people that I've aligned with.
Well, one thing that I really admire about you is I feel like, so I heard this saying from Jesse Itzler, which I think he spoke at EXP.
Dude,
Chris told me
it was like the sickest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's like the best ever. Yeah,
it was the sickest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, and I know that's like a very cliche saying, but keep it simple, stupid. And I think one thing that you do like amazingly is I always hear you kind of preach like the same things that are very amazing core principles that you just stick with, and it's. You're saying, I'm a winner, I want to be around winners, and I'm only going to be surrounded by winners. And if you keep that mindset, and then there's like other basic stuff where it's like, know you like you, trust you, or the other saying you just said, whatever 3 it was.
What's working, what's not working,
exactly.
What can we do better?
Yes, exactly. I hear you say that all the time. And it's those, as long as you stick by those same principles, you're gonna succeed. And that's kind of how I like to take my life too, is I like to break my life up into buckets. And so I have like 3 very important things that I take into every single day, and I want to accomplish those, is my business, so in real estate, my relationships, and my health. So as long as I maintain all 3 of those, and you could look at it from a daily basis, weekly, monthly, whatever, as long as I'm maintaining those, I'm living a successful life. As long as I'm pushing those in the right direction, and I'm improving them, and I'm making sure that I'm spending time with my parents, spending time with my girlfriend, spending time with my friends, then I'm doing good. And as long as I'm focusing on that, then I know that everything is going to turn out good. And that's
amazing.
Yeah.
How did you get there? How old are you?
22.
22.
Yeah.
I was a shithead when I was 22, dude. I was on tour, dude. I had like a no shirt on, the back of a van, dude, selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Tallahassee, Florida, or whatever.
You got that ahead of me though. Like that's so cool. Like those are cool stories. Going to Lisbon and like open up bank accounts and stuff. I've never been that.
Yeah, no, I just went for it, man. I just went for it. I just knew I couldn't work for anyone, man. You probably feel the same way, dude.
Yeah,
like
no way.
This isn't a job, dude. No one works for me. We all work together. We work together. No one works for anybody, right? But yeah, man, it's just dude, I also just think that there's just like these rules that were made up for us as human beings before we got here.
Mm-hmm.
And they suck. Like they really blow, right? Like, dude, I don't want to I just don't want to do. I mean, that's like the punk rocker in me, man. And I think like everyone on our team is a little punk rock, right? Because we just want to do things our way, right? But like our way is like the way that benefits everyone around us, right? And like we just don't have to do things the way they used to be done. And I think, yeah, man, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit of me was like kind of the opposite because I was never like you hear a lot of those entrepreneurs that are like, oh, I was a C and F student. I like never followed the rules. I was doing all this, and I was kind of the opposite. I was like an honor student. I was super keen with like baseball. I had this tight schedule. I was playing baseball, basketball, football. I was doing everything. I was like super locked in, and I like wanted to go to the MLB. That was like my goal as a kid. I played baseball in college, and I went all the way through like school being that person of just being like on the ball, having this schedule, and being this like super structured person. And most of the time when that like structure was taking place and I was doing all these things, it was kind of being set for me. Like I would have a coach for baseball.
Yeah.
They would set the schedule for me. I would have a teacher
Dude,
tell me what homework
sports are so
to do.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was great, and like it taught me a lot, and it like molded my character of who I like wanted to become. And I didn't know that. I thought I was just being a better student, being a better athlete. But it ended up making me like a killer entrepreneur, I think, because it set like these disciplines in. But I didn't know what it was like to have to create your own structure. So I had this whole kind of like tough time I went to school for a year, played baseball. Ended up having some, back and forth with the coach. It didn't end up going well, so...
I never liked that guy, by the way. I never liked that guy. But anyway, we're not going to say his name.
Yeah, we're not going to say his name, but that ended up happening. I was going to go to play baseball at a different school, and I was like, I already know I want to do real estate. My dad is in construction. He does investment properties and stuff, so he's like, you got to do real estate. Whatever it is, you got to just go and become either a realtor, start investing, or doing construction. Whatever you got to do it. And so I was like, all right, I'm not going to go to school anymore. I dropped out of my freshman year. And that like, there was an 8-month span where I was like working at AutoZone. I was taking my test. I was like, I gained a bunch of weight, and that was like not who I was at all. It was terrible. It was terrible. Like that time was just like, I learned so much about like who I was. And I was like, I'm not this like entrepreneurial person as I thought I was. I like had structure all the time. And then I really had to make like a 180 in my life. And I quit my job at AutoZone. I passed the real estate exam. I cut like 45 pounds. I like got shredded again.
Nice.
And then I got into real estate. And that 6-month span, I was kind of like, learning the ropes of how to be a good realtor. And then I really think I just started killing it when I joined Oz Group. But like,
hell yeah.
It's crazy to see like the changes, and when you talk about the rebelling against going to the 9-to-5 job and doing all that sort of stuff. I have an older brother, older sister, love them to death. They're super successful in their own fields, but they do like the 9-to-5. And I could just never do that. And I think I knew that from the start. I never wanted to do that structured life. I think it was only because I loved baseball and I loved like being good at school that I could do that. And I'm so glad that I kind of chose the route that I did.
Good. Dude, it just gets better.
Yeah.
It just gets better.
Yeah.
Like, and seriously, it just gets better. What, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, I have some, wait, were you at the Momentum thing? You were, right?
Yeah, I was. It was outstanding.
You're outstanding. What, I didn't get to ask you this at the Momentum event. If you and I were at a karaoke bar right now, karaoke song would you be singing?
I I don't know if you've ever.
But you gotta like go for it. Dude.
Well,
Not
yeah,
like,
you
you gotta
gotta
be
go
like, dude,
for it.
I'm singing.
But you got to go for a song. 'Cause I'm not really a great singer, but you got to go for a song that you can kind of like mumble. I don't know if you've seen Ted, but
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
want to be with you. Ted inspired me.
That's such a good answer. Such a good. I want to be with you.
Yeah, you just do vowels.
Dude, 100%, man. Yeah, no, you need. I think, dude, you just need also. So I can't. Dude, this is not about singing. This is about partying, right? So like, I'm not talking about how like if you're talking about being a good singer,
Yeah.
wrong conversation, right? But if we're talking about like, woo, like we're raging, karaoke time, move up front, you know, what I think is. You just got to pick a banger, dude. You got to relate to. You got to know your crowd.
You got another crowd.
They got to know the song, and then especially if you can't sing, you can like sing along. You know,
Yeah,
get everybody going.
Throw the mic out. Yeah.
Dude, I was at a Zillow conference in Vegas, and they have like, dude. So on the advisory board, they have like a private dinner for like the advisory board, and then like all the Zillow, like Rich Barton's there, like the guy who invented like Expedia, Microsoft, like that. Like he's in the room, and so they're like, we're doing karaoke, and it was like a backing band, you know, it was like in this bar but it was closed, it was a closed private event, and they're like, who's gonna sing? And they're like, Joe, you should sing or whatever, and like, I was like right in like when they started asking people, and no one was getting up, and I'm like, all right, and I was like, fine. Of course I will do karaoke. Like if you guys want me to rage, I will rage. I'm your guy, you know. And I picked like it happened really fast. I picked "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift, right?
Oh, jeez.
And then I brought up another agent, Treasure Davis. Shout out Treasure Davis from Colorado. And we got up there and we were like, just having fun. But there's like really nobody. We're just totally butchering it. But yo, the words were not on the screen. So the band was like just kind of, or the words were on the screen, but they weren't, it got all messed up. And then I got down and I was like, I don't know how confident I am with that experience, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, dude, the co-founder of Zillow got up there, Rich Barton, and he like sang karaoke, like he can sing. Like
Really?
Maybe just look like a fool, dude. He was just like, got up
jeez.
there, was just like, and everyone gathered around because I guess he does this or whatever, and he's just like singing, and I'm like, oh my God. And then this guy named Joe Sturgeon got up and sang, I think it was Santeria by Sublime, and he sang it like an angel.
Wow.
Like an angel. Like I think I cried.
Jeez.
I think I saw Jesus or the Lord or whatever you believe in. I think I saw it, right? So Joe Sturgeon, if this gets back to you, man, that was one of the most beautiful moments of my life when you sang Santeria by the band Sublime.
Really touched Joe up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it was amazing. Okay, cool. So what do you like to do besides real estate, dude? Like, what's your favorite thing in the world besides working in real estate? Because talking about real estate we're like at the stop talking about real estate mark of the conversation.
Of the conversation, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, fully engulf myself in real estate. So like taking that time off is really important. I try and spend a lot of time with my friends, my family, my girlfriend, and I love the outdoors.
Yeah.
I love hikes. I tore my ACL like 10 months ago, so that really crushed me, and that actually like I think.
What's your ACL? That's the back of your leg. That's this.
That is your my right ACL. It's like the main ligament in your leg.
Did that hurt?
Yeah.
It hurt the worst, right?
It hurt bad, yeah. The worst part about it was the surgery, like the post-surgery. It was insane. Like I
think I remember this.
Yeah,
right?
I had a straight leg. Like
Yeah.
I was on the team, and I remember going to Chris and I was like, "Look, Chris, I like just tore my ACL. All the fun things that I would love to do, I no longer can't do. So let me just become a really good realtor."
Wow.
So that was a conversation that really that thing really helped me, honestly, because it made me focus on real estate. But external real estate, what I like to do, I love running, I love working out, I love boxing. Like I said, I play a bunch of sports, baseball, basketball. But one kick that I'm really on right now is Wii. I've been playing Mario Kart a lot, and like with my friends.
I thought you just said weed. I was gonna be like, what is he talking about right now? I'm like, yeah, it sounds awesome.
Wii.
Dude,
Yeah.
what do you play on? Dude, I never played video games in high school. I talked to girls.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? So like,
You're a part of that group.
no, it's like,
I wasn't a big video game guy. Wii,
I know, I'm totally teasing. It's like a joke I make. So like, everyone plays video games. You
Yeah.
know, like, I'm a big Knicks fan, right? Like Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, they're always like playing video games. Like,
Yeah.
So what is Wii? Is just a video game console. What game do you play?
Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
I play that too.
Yeah.
Milo has a Switch, That's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same. That's like way more intense though. Like the Wii is just so basic. You just like
Really?
do that. Yeah. The like the Nintendo Switch. Like my cousin has one of those.
Yeah.
And it's like so like 3D and like graphics.
It's so
like,
good.
insane.
Yeah, he wants like an Xbox from Santa for Christmas,
Mm.
and I know if he's good, Milo, if you're good, and Santa brings it, I know I'll be playing that thing.
Yeah. Right.
But Milo's got to be a good boy, but he is
Oh,
very good. He's
Oh,
awesome.
good.
Cool. So running,
Cool.
obviously. How do you keep your hair so silky smooth?
Well, it's
Is
called
it just
it's called
natural?
being young. I think
Yeah.
that's like the main part.
You're just like this, like.
Yeah, I just try and wash it every day. That's what I try and do. And if I can do that, then it usually stays good.
Do you put product in your hair? Or is it just the way it falls?
No, just the way it falls.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually
You're a beautiful man.
Oh, thank you.
Jeez Louise. Dude, I looked like Shrek when I was your age, dude. I was like, thank God I was funny, man. I was just
Yeah,
trying
right?
to kick it to girls. I'd like tell a joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I know, but then it makes your personality really good.
Yeah.
So if I lose my looks, then I'm all done. I'm screwed.
No, you have a great personality too. All right, cool. So we wash our hair. What's a fun fact that not many people know about you?
Ooh.
Like Kunal has been in feature films.
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
I used to tour with punk bands, right? And people don't know about that shit.
Yeah.
What's something you were locked up, maybe?
Yeah. Well, that was a short period of my life, so I don't.
We
wanna,
don't- yeah,
we
that's
don't
right.
gotta get into that.
No, your manager,
Falsely accused.
talent
anyway,
agent,
but-
manager told me we were not to bring that up. I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean I guess like the thing that I try and like talk. I mean, I had a podcast. And I don't know if you knew about that, but
We call it a pod in the industry. but
yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. Like I wasn't as big as you were, as you are. So I don't.
I think we had 7 views on my last one on YouTube, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, hopefully we'll break the internet with this one. But I did interviews for a little bit, and that's why I'm like always I'm comfortable, really comfortable in front.
Yeah,
of
I could tell.
Yeah.
Dude, when we started talking, like, you never know what's going to happen. Like, my dad was a wedding DJ. That's something you don't know about me, right?
Oh wow. Oh, I did know about.
Did
that.
you know? Yeah, so I like, whatever. I'm used to, like, I was class clown in high school, so I like a little bit of attention, believe it or not. But sometimes we'll do these things, and then, like, I'll have someone sit next to me, and they're just like, I'll be like, so what's up? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, oh, shit. This is gonna be hard. Like,
Yeah,
our hours flying by, right? But then those hours don't fly by.
Yeah,
I'm
know.
like,
You're gonna be looking at the.
I'm like, so you like pork roll or what? You know, whatever.
No.
What was your
Yeah.
What was your first job?
Wow. Yeah. Okay. My first job was an American Ninja Warrior coach. Yeah. Pretty insane, right? Do you know what that is? First
Dude,
of all.
I ask the best questions, dude. So like, all right, I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah,
I want to
so-
hear all about. Is there a picture of you dressed as an American?
There's a
Ninja?
video of me. You know those big walls? There's a video of me doing that.
Is that on the internet?
No. I have
Where
it on
you-
my phone.
Wait, can you get that to Ashley
Yes.
as soon as possible?
Yes, I will. But it was at the same like baseball facility that I would like go to, and I like walked on the other side of it one day, and I saw this like amazing like American Ninja Warrior coach. And as a kid, I was like, oh my god, this is so
A
sick.
kid, how old are you right now?
I was
What
17.
Okay.
I was 17, so it was like 5 years ago. And
So you saw a Ninja Warrior coach.
yes, I talked to the people. I was like, this seems really cool. And actually before that, I went to an open gym that they had. So I went there with a few friends, and I knew of it before because of baseball, and I went there, and there was a big line to get into this, like to do like the wall, and there was a bunch of little kids there. I wasn't like manning up a bunch of other people, but it was like 13-year-olds. I was 17, and they were all doing like the smaller walls, and I was like, I think I could do the big one. I'm gonna do the big one. And all the coaches were there. There was this like massive crowd because there was no one there, and no one there that could do it. And I did it on my first try.
Wow.
And I like reached up and I grabbed it and I pulled myself up, and then afterwards they were like, yo, like that was pretty cool that you did that. So I ended up talking to like the guy who like manages it, and he was like, you want a job? And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I want a
Your guy
job.
was born to do this.
Yeah.
I have a gift from God.
Yep. So did that for a little bit. It wasn't as cool as it was as it like sounds, but I just like I like pretty much carried little kids through the monkey bars.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
much what I did.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then at the end of every like party, I would have to do the big wall in front of everyone, and like everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, like he's so cool."
Dude, were
It
the
was
moms like, dude, we gotta hang out later?
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
gosh,
yeah.
every single mom was like, "You want an extra slice of this birthday cake here?" No, but
You're like, yo, excuse me, Mrs. Reynolds, cupcakes aren't getting you to the top of the wall. I don't know if you noticed.
I don't know if you noticed.
I don't know if you
but
noticed this, but cupcakes.
American Ninja Warrior's on a very tight diet here.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
no.
A&J does not eat CUPCAKES, right?
Yeah, you could spell that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm dyslexic too, and I think I spelled that correctly.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, but that's something that was a great time, great period.
Have you ever met? What famous person did you meet?
Never met anyone. Never met
Come
anyone
on.
famous. I swear, there was this one guy who
You never met Ted Danson?
Never met Ted Danson.
Okay.
But there was this really cool guy that went to that gym that I was never there. I never met him though. He applied to go to the course, and I don't think he ever did, but he applied, and like that was like the big talk of the town.
Wait, a guy.
A guy applied to go on to the actual show,
Uh-huh.
and he didn't get it, but he like applied, and he made like this really sick video. You know, like that they have those intro videos.
Yep.
He was like, was like juggling eggs, and he was like, "Do you want to see the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life?" Threw up 2 of the eggs, caught one of them in his mouth, did a backflip, and then ran up the wall.
And then did a bong rip.
And then did a bong rip.
He did a bong rip. It
And
would
I
have
think
gotten on
he
TV in a
shotgunned a beer
second.
after that.
Dude.
Yeah. It was insane.
All right. We don't do drugs at
No,
Oscar
no,
you
we
guys
don't do
at
that.
all.
No.
We may used to have, but not right now.
It's called the we. It's the we, not we.
What do you say always on team? You say up with hope, down with dope. Is that what you say all the time?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
my saying. Yeah.
What did you do? By the way, I'm teaching you. These are all assumed closing questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what famous person did you meet? Right? I'm not like, oh, did you ever meet a famous person? What did you do? What did you do when you got called to the principal's office in school? What was that thing? What did you do that was so bad that you had to go to the principal's office?
Yeah. Like I said, I was a pretty good kid, so I
thought
never
that was
really-
coming.
I never really. I've got it once. There was one time. And
What, your shoes were untied or something stupid?
my
right?
shoes were untied, and I accidentally like pushed that little kid in the locker, and yeah. But no, there was one time where I took the elevator when like the elevator was like strictly for like kids that like had like crutches.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Special
And-
needs kids, right?
Yeah, special needs kids, crutches, the whole nine there. And I saw an elevator open, and no one was in there, and it's right by the principal's office. And I just scooted in there, and he literally caught me. Like, of course, he's walking out of his office. He's a kid, no crutches, and hopefully he didn't think I was special needs. But that's what happened, and he called me out. And
Dude, I listened to a bunch of your early Zillow calls and some of your early contracts. Do you feel like we could go back in time and make a case that you are a little bit special needs or whatever?
maybe the first Zillow seller one was a little special needs, but we need those to
Oh my
become
God, so
to
funny.
become Joe Oz on the phone.
That's so
right?
funny, man. That's so funny. Yeah, listen to some of those Zillow seller calls are painful sometimes. I can't do it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just gonna freak out.
I know. I remember the first time that like I did that, like that first call that we broke down. You broke it down so much, and then you ended up calling the guy, and you were like, "Hey, yeah, let's set the appointment." And you just said it on the phone, and I was just like, "Wow."
That's just practice.
Yeah.
That's just doing what you're doing. Like I'm not. People are always like, "Wow, you're really good," and it's not true. I'm just trained.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Like when you're American Ninja Warrior, dude, or well, whatever you did the first time, but like. If you're really good at something, it's because you were just trained. Like that's it. And you also just got like Steph Curry, dude. That guy, that guy's regimen is insane, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course he can throw a ball in the hoop from anywhere in the arena, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just because he's trained to do that,
Yeah.
right? Like that's it. Or a sniper. Like the sniper's trained to do that. Did you see a guy get shot in New York last night? How
Yeah,
crazy is
was
shit?
that the United? That's like the CEO
yeah.
of United Healthcare. Yeah, I just
Dude,
saw
so-
that.
So if you leave Oz Group, I will have an assassin. Dude, you won't.
Yeah, if
you
I
won't.
get shot in New York,
That was
you
like
know
straight
it's
up
gonna
movies.
hit,
That was
right?
like Liam Neeson assassin shit.
Yeah,
So, all right.
I know, right?
But yeah, so if you leave Oz Group, I'm gonna the guy will have like a silencer, dude. It'll be
Okay,
like a
all right.
professional. It'll be like a totally professional.
We
hit.
got that on recording, so.
Oh my god, totally. Psych. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. That's the thing about life now. Everything's recorded, and like
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever met me. I say a lot of dumb shit sometimes, you know, and like I say a lot of purposeful stuff, but I also say some wild stuff. My wife's like, "You gotta watch what you say, man. You say some wild stuff."
Oh my god.
And she's like, "Something," but nowadays everything's recorded.
Everything is recorded. Yeah, especially with you when you're when you're going on.
Everything's
a Zoom
recorded.
Call, you're like, oh, Ashley's like, record.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't let anyone. But I think I have integrity. I mean, I say everything in fun.
One quick question I want to ask you.
Yeah. No, we're all done, dude. You can ask me whatever you want.
Yeah,
if you'd like.
so-
that's actually the next question. What question did I not ask you, or what question do you want to ask me?
Yeah. Time blocking is like massive for you, and you told me with like the morning routine how that was like your one big non-negotiable. What is another like? What's like really important during your time blocking time that you make sure that you do in order to kind of see success?
What do you mean
in your life? Meaning like the morning routine. You said there's 5 things. There was like
Sure.
prayer,
Yeah.
meditation, exercise, whatever
Yeah.
it is. What else in like your day is like a non-negotiable in order to like kind of traject your life?
Yeah, man. So what I do is on Sundays I take about an hour to an hour and a half, and I time block that, and I just go somewhere and think, and I time block the week. So my week has built-in time blocks, right? Like the power up that we do at 6 a.m. in California,
Yeah.
right? But like, which is not a big deal. I'm up, but if I don't take the kids to school, I'm on that, and that just stays on my calendar, right? I have meetings with Chris Stiles. He's a sales manager, right? He reports to me, so like we have a meeting every week that doesn't move, right? I have meetings with Ashley, who is the chief chaos coordinator, right? So like I meet with her because she makes sure that my life doesn't get derailed. I meet with Zillow, I meet with EXP, I do training, so those are all on there, and then. So those kind of stay, and so really, I believe when you're creating your time block calendar, the non-negotiables start with you, right? Like, what do you? It's like it's the oxygen mask thing on the airplane, right? What do you need? So my best intention, I want to show up as the best version of myself for the people that I care about. The people that I care about are the people who have committed to me in business. That's anyone that works with us at EXP in my group, and then anyone at Oz Group, right? I will say with a caveat, that's earned my time, right? Like there's, like you've seen a revolving door at Oz Group, right?
Yeah.
But now this year there hasn't been, right? Yeah. Like so we really needed to find our people. But so for me, man, my goal is I want to show up as the best version of myself, right? To the people that I care about, and I need to work on myself. And so what that looks like is we talked about. Morning routine, right? So, I told you I'm sober. I run a program of AA, right?
Oh, really?
Correct.
Oh,
and
cool.
so that's the most important thing in my life. So I go to 3 AA meetings a week, and I sponsor about 6 guys.
Oh, wow.
So all that
Awesome.
stuff comes first, right?
That's awesome, yeah.
And then after that comes my morning routine, and then after that comes God, and then comes my family. And business comes after that.
Yeah. I didn't even know you're a Christian. Are you a Christian?
Good
Catholic?
question. Good question. I wouldn't say that I'm a Christian. I do believe in God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe in God heavy. I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in God. I believe that there's a higher power, right? And that for all of us.
Yeah.
And so I guess my point here is that like you just got to take care of yourself first, because if you're not okay, you're not going to be able to show up for the people that you need to show up for.
Yeah.
And so and I don't want to like white knuckle life. So really it's like I work on and for some people, like not everyone runs a program like I do. It's like the gym, right? It's program. It's your spirituality, right? And then it's my family. So my family, like taking my kids to and from school, date night with my wife, vacations. I believe so now for 2025, the first thing that goes on my calendar are the 2 vacations I'm taking with my family, right? I just booked a surfing trip for me and my buddies, right? We're going to this really obscure spot in like Mexico, and we're going to it's like a 9-hour trip to get down to this like part of Mexico. And so that's on the calendar, right? Because that's what fills me up, right? That's what makes me feel good, right? Staying active, things like that. And then from there, I put all the business stuff on. And the business stuff is, dude, the business stuff is easy.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do.
Yeah.
People don't take care of themselves and nurture, but it sounds like you are. So like taking care of yourself, nurturing key relationships. Like you talked about your family, your girlfriend, things like that.
Yeah.
So like Believe it or not, dude, me sitting here talking to you is me nurturing a key relationship. This is a key relationship in my life. You're important to me in the organization and what we're doing. And by you doing better, you're helping me learn how to help the next person. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
So really, it's whatever you need to do to be the best version of yourself, nurturing key relationships, and then business stuff. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And the business stuff is easy. But what do I do?
It kind of just feels.
You know what to fucking do, man. But take care of
Yeah.
yourself first. Otherwise, you won't have the energy and you won't be fired up to do the stuff. Because, dude, quite honestly, making your calls for 2 hours in the morning, it's probably not your most favorite thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But you probably love being in the gym, makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
You probably love praying, makes you feel good. You probably love spending time with your mom and dad, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Probably love spending time with your girlfriend, makes you feel good, right? One of the things I time block is just calling 3 people every day and just saying hello. Just, hey, man, what's up? How's your day going? No one does that. It's
Yeah.
weird. When you start doing someone for the first time, they're weirded out.
Yeah.
Right? We're like, hey,
Yeah.
man, what's going on, dude? How's your day? Hey, you have any challenges with anything right now? Yeah, my son's, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Cool, you want to talk through it? That fills me up. Calling people and being like, hey, man, what's going on? How are things?
Yeah.
You'll get a phone call from me in the future. My phone will just ring, and I won't have an agenda. It'll just be like, hey, man, how's it going? Everything
Yeah.
cool? Do you need anything?
Yeah.
What's working, what's not working in your life?
That's cool. Yeah. And I mean, there's one thing that I've kind of been trying to live by a lot recently. It's, if I love myself, I will love others by proxy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sums up exactly what you said. I think like it's really important to just focus on putting the things in your calendar and like spending the time to.
Where did that idea come from?
I journal a lot and I like brainstorm and I don't know how half the stuff that comes from me or like other people that I listen to. So I'm not really sure where that one came from, but yeah, I mean, it's just loving. Because
Did you ever hear of the book called The 4 Agreements?
Are you kidding me? I just read that. Actually.
Okay.
Maybe it was from that then.
That's the first agreement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that I actually, there we go. Yeah, I literally just read that. That was actually so funny. I had a client that I like really connected with on like a spiritual level with that, and she gifted me like 5 books at closing.
Holy crap.
That were like 4 agreements. It was like a bunch of others.
Well, can you like
stuff
text
like
me the other ones or whatever?
Yeah.
That's
I
in there. I'd
will.
love to know what they are. That's so funny, man. I was just reading that.
Yeah.
I was just like
Quick read.
Yeah, I was just rereading that like in my sauna the other night. But no, I was
Red
reading
light or actual sauna?
it's an infrared. I got like one of those ones you like order online and it's like you
Yeah.
put it together and put it in your garage.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick, dude. Like
Really?
it does the trick for sure. Yeah, I try and do it every night.
Oh, nice. Helps you sleep.
Dude, it helps
I know
everything.
that.
Blood circulation. Plus, I'm like an anxiety ball. I put the kids to bed and like I need something, and I just go in that thing, man, for 20 minutes, and then and then I jump in the shower with cold shower,
Oh,
and it's just like
Yeah.
I feel alive, and then I go to bed. It's great.
Yeah. There we
But
go. No, that's a great book. I love that book though. The 4 Agreements. That like, I couldn't put that down when I picked it up. I
100%.
read it in like 2 days, and it because it's like 100 pages. But
it's too easy.
yeah.
What are other books like that have like kind of made an impact?
First book that I read was not the first book ever, but like first book that I read that I really like thought I saw a change was like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Very cliche, but that is one thing that like led me into real estate. Is you can't like if you trade your time for money, you're not going to become wealthy.
Did you read the Cash Flow Quadrant?
No.
Go read it.
Go
today.
read it?
Today.
Just
Go.
What is it? The
Cash Flow.
Flow.
It's his next book.
Oh, really?
It's like the follow-up to Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
No one reads it. It's like more important.
Yeah, probably.
It's like tactical.
Cash Flow Quadrant. Okay. I'll definitely read that.
It's the sickest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like Rich Dad Poor Dad just introduced you to the main like conversation of wealth and how to make money and not trading your time for money. And that's another reason why I love real estate is because you're not trading your time for money. Like, when I was back at AutoZone, I was trading an hour of my time for $12. And when you walk home at the end of the day, yeah, you're guaranteed a paycheck, but what, you feel good about that? No, you don't feel good about that. You're just sitting there like, wow. I just looked at my phone.
And that's great for some people, right?
Yeah,
like,
well,
dude,
no, totally.
dude, there's people that are like, there's so many people that are like, hey man, like there's people that are like, if you knew they're gonna sell 10 houses, you know what I mean, and like income for the business would be like, I don't know what, I'm just gonna make them like $200,000. You'd be like, hey, you're not gonna get a paycheck, you're not gonna get a steady paycheck, but between now and 12 months from now, you're gonna make $200,000. Just go sell houses, or I'm gonna pay you $75,000 salary
Yeah.
for the same job. most people would take that 70
I
because
agree.
of security.
I agree. Yeah.
Fear. Like people aren't wired the way that we're wired, right?
Yeah, and it really depends on like, I think. So like I said, I love to do journaling, and that's like another thing that people don't really know about me. I during that really hard time in my life, I did a lot of journaling, and I really focused on like growing my mind and growing my spirituality within myself. And when I did that, I learned so much about where I wanted to go in life. And I just made this YouTube video recently, and it was like I went to the same hiking spot that I went to every single time I journaled during that time when I was like 30 pounds overweight, working at AutoZone, which is fine with for other people, yes, but that wasn't
we're not
who
working
I
at
am.
all.
Yeah, that's not who I am.
What we're doing, yeah.
And when I went there again, I like really had this like I like got emotional because I really saw myself 2 years ago. And I was like, wow, like look at the changed man that I am, and none of this would have happened unless I put number one journaled every single thing and journaled what I wanted and journaled how to get there. So I'm here right now. I want to be over here. What is this? What is in between? And figuring that out is like I think like a daily process. I think it starts with Sunday nights. You figure out what's important to you. Where do you want to be over here? And then when over here has multiple different avenues, like the 3 buckets that I have, relationship, health, and business, the in-between work has to encompass all 3 of those things.
Wow.
So it has to encompass you working out, staying clean in your diet, nurturing those relationships, having one-on-one time with people, and then also filling in that other stuff with work that you know is going to move your business forward. And if you don't have that, then you're kind of like a lazy, ambitious person. I feel like that is like the worst combination of things, because you're just going to have such high standards for your life and you're never going to accomplish it, and then you're just going to feel sad all the time.
Wow. That's some deep stuff, man. Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
I want to see if a beat. So sometimes people can't find these places.
Yeah. So I feel like it was pretty easy. Like 311, you'd think like 3rd floor.
What's that? Hold on. Let's see if he's. So what happens is people can't find this place. Dude, someone just got an offer accepted.
Let's go.
Adrian, of course, dude. Holy crap.
She is crushing. She's
my favorite realtor. Sorry, dude. She's my favorite realtor.
Yeah,
like
I'm a realtor. She's my favorite realtor too. And no, it's so cool.
she's my favorite realtor ever. Like if you collected like realtor baseball cards, like I would have her like all like
a signed card.
Dude, 100%. Dude,
Yeah.
I would have have a poster of Adrian like on my wall.
Yeah.
Like my not in a weird way, in like a favorite baseball player way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Thank you for
Not in a weird way.
Thank you for confirming that.
I don't think it was weird until I made it weird, right? You're never like, Joe, that wasn't really weird, but you made it weird. I'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
right?
Here, use this time really quickly to shout out some of the people on the team. Like I'm so incredibly grateful for Chris Styles and Kunal, like both of them.
Tell him right there in the camera.
Chris Styles, thank you so much. Chris has made me he's really pushed me to be the best realtor that I can be, and I couldn't be more grateful. He onboarded me onto the team, and he's been like my mentor in real estate, kind of ever just being the best realtor possible ever since, just continually growing. He's always calling me, he's pushing me to the limit very much so, but like there's a running joke of how he's like just only mean to me.
Dude,
but,
he is only mean to you.
Yeah, but I mean it's what really helps me, and he says that too, and I really appreciate that. And same with Kunal. Kunal has been like kind of like the angel, and then Chris has kind of been the devil on the shoulder, and they're both really they're both pushing me to be the better.
You're like an winners want accountability.
Yeah.
Losers don't want accountability.
Yeah.
I don't. That's why like losers hang out with losers, man. Right? Like if you're
Yep.
like, dude, a bunch of, I don't know, man. I don't want to be mean, but I think you kind of got to be mean sometimes, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, a bunch of fat people that are like, oh, dude, let's go hit our second brunch today or whatever. And you're gonna be like, dude, my friends are gonna be like, dude, my friends are like, you don't need to eat that. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit, you're okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And my friend's right, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's like, hey man, you need to make your calls. It's the spinach is in your teeth thing, dude. It's like, hey dude, you got spinach in your teeth. Like you want your friends to call out your defects, right?
Yeah.
Or like your blind spots. and that those are the people that care about you, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like it's having like an accountability coach, pretty much, or like a partner, and making sure that you're hitting the stuff that you're saying you're gonna do. And because it comes down to if you really map out what you are gonna be doing every week, if you don't actually do it, it doesn't matter what you're mapping out. Like you gotta actually do it, and that's what Chris and everyone is there for. And also just you got to be your own kind of like self-censor in that way where you got to just like say, hey, what is this doing for me right now? Well, I'm scrolling on my phone. I'm scrolling on TikTok or whatever. I don't even have to. I deleted TikTok because of that. Like I don't want to do that.
Same, yeah. Same.
And you,
brutal.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta take away all of the negative things in your life that are easily indulging. When you take those away, then you're kind of like setting you're taking away the bad people in your life. The same exact thing. If you don't have to separate. You don't have to surround yourself by winners. All you have to do is separate yourself from the losers.
That was sick, dude. What did you say? You don't have to.
You don't have to surround yourself by winners. You have to separate yourself from the losers.
I think that's the first step. Like I did a life audit once, and I was just like, these people aren't winning. Like these people are not winning.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's call a beach real quick. See if he's on his way, because otherwise, me and you got like a whole nother. We got a whole nother situation. We got a whole nother hour here.
Yeah. The life audit, though, I love that.
There we go. Abish, are you outside? Come on in. I knew it. You could have just came in, man.
We good?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks.
All right.
Was that fun?
That was great.
You want to rap or anything? You're good.
What's that?
Do you want to do a rap or are you good?
We're good. I think we're good, right?
All right, yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you.
And then go to the left. This one? Yep.
Cool. Your water. Do you use the restroom?
Yeah, I'll probably run.